to the Power Up Talk Show, a talk show where we bring inspirational people, community leaders together that are making a difference and an impact in our lives. Hello, I am Sandy Spady, your host. Come join me on the journey. Before I introduce my guest, we're going to start with Dion. Mr. Dion with Somberg's Cocktails. So what do you have brewing for us?
Well, today I'm going to be doing something really special and very dear to my heart. As you may or may not know, I like to binge watch shows when my daughter goes to sleep. And so I've caught the show called The Gilded Age, and I decided that needs its own martini. And so I'm going to be making the Gilded Age martini today. It's going to be decadent. It's going to have hints of bergamot orange, lavender, peach, and citrus with a finish of strawberry goodness. So we're going to start out first with our our lemon juice. This is going to be our citrus note. We just need a little bit of citrus. You don't really need a lot in this because it is a martini, and martinis generally are not made with any citrus. Our next ingredient is going to be our vermouth. I use a Lania Blanco vermouth. And this guy, we're going to use a little bit more than normal because we really want to set off a little bit of that strawberry goodness and give it a very deep texture. So we want this cocktail to have layers. And our next liquor is going to be our Italicus Bergamot liqueur. This is where we're going to get our orange notes. And this one we're going to do about a ½ ounce per cocktail. And we're getting to the end of our ingredients here, mostly. We're going to use our Combière peach liqueur. Kind of speaks for itself. And this one, just like the lemon, we just want to do a little bit. A little bit of Combière goes a long way. And last but not least, it wouldn't be a party without Tito's, ladies. Now, once we have all of our ingredients combined, we are going to shake this like we're at a quinceañera.
Yes.
We wonder.
Now, our glasses both have orange oil in them already. I've rinsed the orange oil into them. And so all we have to do is pour our martini. And there we have it, ladies.
Wow.
Our Gilded Age martini.
It's amazing that you have a beautiful, practically, 9-month-old baby right at home.
Yep.
And that you named a cocktail after her. I think it's so sweet. So thank you, Dion. And
You're
Dion, by the way, you can hire him for any after hours, any cocktail parties, galas, fundraisers. He is a craftsman. Thank you.
Cheers.
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 Alrighty, cheers.
Cheers.
So amazing, right? Let's
Guess it.
try it. Ooh, that's just beautiful looking and tasting.
Delicious.
I'm excited for our next guest at Power Up Talk Show. We met probably 6 months ago, and I fell in love with her. Not only is she an international interior designer for 20 years with the Nebraska Furniture Mart, she is from Peru, and she's on fire to take the world. Welcome, Elena Kerwin.
Thank you so much, Sandy, for having me, and it was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. You have done so much, right? You're an international designer. That means AKA she's not cheap, but boy, she's worth it.
That sounds very good. I will add that to my card.
Yes, add that to your card. Tell us, how do you become an international designer?
Basically, it was very simple. You move from Peru to Omaha, and that makes you international.
I like it. So simple. I like it.
What it is I had been doing houses, I started in my country, being a designer there. I just was right out of college, and then I worked with many Peruvian embassies. And then, of course, there was many nationalities. And then after that, when I moved to Omaha, I started working with Nebraska Furniture Mart. And then because the Berkshire Hathaway connection, they are not only all over USA, but they're in Canada and they are around the world. Therefore, I ended up doing many houses around the world too.
I love that.
Yes.
And how did you come from Peru
To Omaha.
Omaha, Nebraska?
Oh, the first thing that I did is I took a plane.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, I like
Yes.
it. I like it.
Everything started because I met my husband, who was originally from Omaha, and then we became very good friends. He knew that I was going to do my master in interior design in Europe, and he invited me to come and visit Omaha, practice my English for a month, and, and then go to Peru and then fly to Omaha and do my master. But he already had a plan, which I didn't know. And then I came here for a month, and 1 year later, we got married, and I ended up in Omaha. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And how many years ago was that?
That was in 2001. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now, coming to Omaha, coming from Peru, that's a big adjustment, right? Did you live in a big city in Peru, or was it about the same size?
Oh my God, no. It was, we're talking about 14 million.
Wow. Wow, it makes us look like a little suburb.
Yes. That was the first adjustment.
Tell me, that's my next question. What are some adjustments that you had to go through? You know, the language, it's a different size of city you were used to. And just tell me some adjustments that you had to go through, and what were some of the surprises?
Everything started. My husband was very smart, and then we lived in that time in Dundee, and he knew that I was coming from a big city, and there, Dundee and that area of Omaha has a lot of character, like many big places around the world. And then he told me that Omaha was like Dundee, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. But he didn't tell me to the suburbs. And then after, when we got married, and of course, I didn't know anything I snow because I came in summer. But getting adjusted to the size wasn't so bad. Snow was a huge adjustment. I remember I broke my windshield wiper with, my car, trying to clean the car because I never clean, and then cleaning in the snow, can you imagine? It was an adjustment. And traffic was a little bit slow for me, but I got used to. And then finally the food, I missed a lot of my Peruvian food. It was a big adjustment.
Now tell me, as an international designer, is there any good stories? Like, what was your most challenging or your most interesting design or person that you can talk about?
I cannot tell you how many times I have signed what they call non-disclosure agreements.
Yes. Okay, give me the ones you can talk about.
Yes, no, because the big ones, that are good ones, but it's so funny. And then, there is this. Only thing that I can say about this guy is that he was married with, what's the name of that girl? Oh, she's very famous. She's a very famous actress, and he bought a lot of land in Nebraska. And remember the actress with something about mother-in-law? Remember with Jennifer Lopez?
Yes. Okay, I can envision her, but I can't say the name. But tell us the story.
Okay, this guy who was married with this woman who happened to be in that movie, I don't remember the name of the actress, but she's a very well-known actress. And they came to the store. He couldn't come, and they said, we need to have all of this house done. And I was like, okay, but first you need to sign the agreement. And I was like, oh my God.
And you're like, oh, it's yes.
Yes. And of course, after I signed the agreement, they disclosed the name, and I'm like, I could never mention his name again to anyone. And everybody said, yeah, you can say it. And then we started designing all this big ranch, and everything came from the Nebraska Furniture Mart, and it was amazing. And the people didn't even budge about I couldn't charge anything that I wanted, but I am very honest. I did a fair price. And then it was very, very nice, to be able to do that and then work with people. And then that was very exciting, especially when you start, after that, I start figuring out who is this guy, and I start Googling. And then I see the connection with this actress, and I'm like, oh my God, I should have charged him more. Yes, that's another interesting story from one of my clients. And he had a house, and again, I cannot mention it. He has a house in Beverly Hills Boulevard. And one day I called him, and of course, I never Google my clients, even now, never ever Google my clients, because I want to treat everybody equally. And then I called and I said, hey, there is a power outage in LA. Do you want me to stop your delivery? Because, we designed the house and his ranch, and it was going to be amazing. And he said, don't worry, hon, I sell power to LA. I said, oh, okay, then you have power in your house. Yeah, I always have power. You know, it's good to have power. I say, okay, that's good. You know?
So did you say he sells power to LA?
Yes. Therefore, he always had power in his house.
That
I
is-
was worried because, you know, I heard that there was a power outage in LA, and then I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have his furniture delivery when there is no power.
I love that he says, I sell power to LA. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was
Don't
in
worry,
shock.
I sell power to LA.
He said, don't worry, I have power to LA. And I was like, okay, that's, you know, yes.
How many times do you do when you do international designs, like LA? Like,
LA is
let's
not
say
international.
throughout the year. Okay, not international. Sorry,
Canada.
but it might be for me in the Midwest.
Yeah, I know.
But how often do you travel then? It sounds like you might. And what's interesting, I love about Nebraska Furniture Mart, we're in Nebraska, and these people know us, right? They know Nebraska Appliance. That just shows such greatness, right? That they are getting people from LA. And
But you need to understand, we are not just Nebraska because we are in
Oh.
Texas now.
oh, you're in
And
Texas.
huge store in Texas, which is one of the biggest in the world.
Wow, I did not know
And
that.
we are building another one. I mean, we are so powerful, you couldn't even believe. If we have those powerful people.
I love that. Where's our third location? Can you say it?
We have Kansas City, we have, of course, Texas, and we are building one in Austin, Texas.
Wow, I love that. Do you usually design the whole home, or do you design a wall, or how does that work?
I can do everything there. You know, you can do a full house. Full houses, I just do it for very close, clients because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And when the project is, and I like to, Nebraska Furniture Mart, honestly, I can have big clients, little clients. I like to work with everybody.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the story behind Nebraska Appliance because with Women with Voices, I love to have women empower other women.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss B, right? She started the company.
Yes, and she was an immigrant woman with an accent,
Wow, where was she from?
Russia.
Russia. That is so interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the things that empower me about knowing about my culture. Nebraska Furniture Mart, we start with a woman. She was the founder of the company, and she was a Russian immigrant.
That is amazing.
She was an amazing woman, a lot of willpower, and she had a big, thick accent.
Before you said yes to the job, did you know that about her, about the company?
No, I found out later.
Nice. What is it that you find a project, right? It's a project and you're like, I can't wait to do this. What is it that just fuels your passion for your industry? What is it that's a perfect client out there that you're like, I can't wait. I hope they sign that agreement because I'm ready to work with them.
And to be honest, it's something different. I'm so used to do many things, but anything that is a challenge is very good for me.
I love that. And now that you said this, I'm going to ask, what's the challenge?
Like a floor plan, budgets, time, location, oh my God, there is so many things to do.
I love that.
Yes, and it's so nice to be able to, but in my case, it's so nice to see the result and people happy because, it's like I feel that I am improving their lifestyle and that listens a lot to me. And then complete different styles. And one of the reasons, and about that, I travel a lot for pleasure. But one of the reasons that I travel a lot overseas, basically to visit my friends, I have friends all over the world, but to be up to date with designs. Therefore, when somebody asks me everything that I'm doing, I'm ahead like to Omaha standard, 10 years. To USA standards, 2 or 3. I always try to be ahead and go to places where I can get inspiration, and get all my design through that. I was a maid in London, Paris, and Rome. And then I just came back from Turkey. But wherever I go, I get inspiration, and I apply that inspiration to my clients' houses.
I love that. As far as inspiration, when you go to visit, she's also on the international travel. What's the name of your group? You internationally travel together. She just got back from Turkey,
Yes.
right? And for your birthday, so it was a birthday international trip.
Yes.
I love to international travel, and I love that you do that. What is it like? Where do you go? How often do you travel? Tell us about this group and how do we belong to it?
Yes.
Right? How do we do it?
My international group here in Omaha is called Internations. The headquarters is in Munich, and I have been there many times. And this group is all over the world. And basically, to join, you need to travel a lot internationally, or you need to be an expat to qualify to be that. But you know, I'm the ambassador in Omaha.
Thank
I
you.
have connections.
I'm in. I'm
Yes.
in. Okay, I'm international probably
And then
4 or 5 times. But
big-
what is that kind of like the checkpoint?
Basically, it's a group of global-minded people that love to share that interest, and then we are a community. And believe it or not, Omaha has a huge expat community.
How many people in Omaha?
Oh my God! You know, my chapter has close to 2,000, but I cover not only Omaha, I cover Des Moines, because between Chicago and Denver, we are the only one chapter.
Wow, how many is in that chapter?
And the
if you had to
chapter
guess?
around 2,000, because I asked when I went to it, but covers not only Omaha, we are Des Moines, Kansas City is part of my group, and all of that. And then sometimes we do events in Kansas City or Des Moines to meet with other people.
When you meet, how often do you meet? Whoops, we lost a lemon. It's okay. We're still having
We
fun
meet
though.
once per month, and then we try to go and do some activities, basically ethnic food. And that's the other thing. We want to help local businesses. That's the requirement.
So when you go to help a local business, because
I mean, going for a dinner.
oh, I love that.
Yes, and then we like ethnic food.
What's your favorite food? I mean, of all the places you've been, she's been everywhere. What's your favorite? Like tonight, I'm hungry for.
Oh, you know what? I have so many, but I'm so glad that we have a Peruvian restaurant now in Omaha.
Oh, where's that at?
It's like 50th and Grover? No, it's actually 72nd and Grover.
Well, let's have a Women with Voices event there. Let's do it.
Yeah, we should do that. But then we have so many ethnic restaurants in Omaha.
Do you meet once a month, twice
We
a
meet
month?
once a month with the regular event, but we have a WhatsApp group and we connect. If somebody wants to do something every weekend, they just call and say, hey, who wants to do this with me? And all the international people come, because there is a lot of people that are doing research in Omaha with UNMC. There is doctors, there is students, and there is like a big, Turner, one of those big construction companies that have a lot of foreign people. All these people connect, you know what I mean? And then we meet, and then we are like a support group, like Women for Voices, but for international people, everything,
So they don't feel alone, right?
Yes,
It's that common thread of
Yeah.
people feeling alone. And I suppose when you come from a different country and a different
culture.
language,
And remember,
yes.
many of those people don't come with all their families. They're coming here for work, for studies, for research, and therefore, yeah. And
they
we
feel
are
like-
there to get that connection, And I honestly, I don't even remember how many different nationalities that some of the ones that I cannot even pronounce, like Tajikistan, I think is one of my very good friends. And then, of course, we have Mexico, we have guys from France, we have guys from, of course, England, Irish, Japan, you name it. It's a huge community and people don't realize. That's what I love about Omaha, the diversity. We have a lot of diversity in Omaha, and the food is diverse too. We have we have tried African restaurants, we have, I think, so Turkish restaurant. There is a little bit of everything, and we love to do that, and that's one of the things when I was moving to Omaha, I remember I asked my husband, okay, where are the embassy parties? And he looked at me, and he looked at me. That's the shocking part when you say the adjustment. It's like, I'm so used to go to embassy parties. And my husband was like, no. And that's, later I met this group, the international people, and I feel some kind of void because, it's good to be enriched with cultural, and global-minded and people who has different styles and point of views, and but there is a lot of Americans that come to that event too. Yes, it's not just for foreign people, but it's so fun to be able to have that connections. And then after I met your group with Women with Voices, and it's another support group, and I'm very busy, but I want to spread my time with causes and groups that has a lot of meaning for me.
And I love that she's on our board, and she
Thanks to
brings.
you.
Yeah, I will say yes,
Yes.
because you bring so much to the table, right? You can relate on so many different levels and share your expertise and your experiences. And I know you have a great story at some time that we'll have you be a speaker. But that's what's great about you, is that you are a part of Omaha that I didn't know existed, right, with your international, and that you bring something to the table, and I appreciate that.
And then people don't realize when everybody is not from Omaha, and when I travel and ask me, why Omaha? And I say, you know what? It's a very good town. It's not too small, it's not too big, but I feel comfortable and I feel home.
Yeah, I love that.
It's not as big. I cannot put up with traffic anymore. I mean, I cannot go back to traffic after living in a traffic place.
Now I have a special something I'm going to share with the audience, because not only is she a superstar, but she has a dog that has its own superstar Instagram. Tell us about that.
Oh, my little guy. Since she actually has like 4,300 followers on Instagram. He's very famous. He had been in one magazine, and then he goes, and basically he's special dog. I got him the day that my husband was dying. And I knew that I wanted to get an Akita, and it was so difficult to find one. I saw that movie with Richard Gere, Hachi, fell in love with the dog, and then I was on waiting list, and the day that my husband was dying, someone called me. He said, "We have puppies." And I said, "I want one. I need to get one because I really need it." And then she came to my life the day of my husband's funeral. And we had been together. You know, he had been a big challenge. He's 85 pounds now. And Akitas, I didn't realize. I didn't make my research, as you can understand. You know, I mean, I'm a designer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a, you know, therefore I didn't do a research on the breed. I just saw it's so cute. And then they're very challenging dogs, very difficult to train, especially for a first-time owner. And I was one of those. But, you know, I was thinking I need to surround myself with specials. And since she had been trained since he was 2 months, have gone to any schools in Omaha.
Wow.
And graduated. You know, I mean, he had been to in all the Branald Talbots in Omaha. You can imagine, he has all this training. And still, he can be a challenge. He's very smart, extremely smart, but very independent.
And how many followers again?
4,200.
4,200.
Yeah.
That's her dog. He's a rock star.
Yes, he's the cutest thing. He couldn't be here today because he's having a cleaning.
Oh, I love it. I have a dog too. His name's Duke. He's my lifesaver. He's there all the time with me when I went through my divorce. Like, honestly, sometimes it's better to have just an animal, right?
Yeah, and then it's an emotional support.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. Alrighty. What is the one thing of all the places you have been, because you have been to many places, that you long to be back to?
You know, honestly, I have been in so many places and people are so nice. And I cannot tell you how nice people are wherever I go. And then even when I went to Turkey, my American friends were texting me like, "Oh my God, you're crazy." And I was thinking, you know what? Everybody was so nice and I feel so safe. But Morocco is my favorite place. I don't know why. I love Morocco, Marrakesh, and the culture. And that's the place that I really want to come back. It's something about the culture, the spices, I don't know, the camels, the desert.
Okay, I can honestly say I've never been on a camel, but I think that would be a great photo.
I have my picture. I have my picture on the camel to prove it.
Okay, you might have to share that with us.
Yes.
That sounds like a fun thing. What else is it that you would like to share with the audience? Something that they would not ever suspect, or something that inspires you, something that you want to share with the audience?
You know, I think that the most important thing is follow your heart and follow your dreams. Mm-hmm. I have done it all my life and no regrets at all. And then don't listen to what people want you to do. Just do what you think that you want to do. And as I talked to a friend, because he told me, what do I do to make so much money? And I said, just love what you do and money will come.
Because a lot of times you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't love what you do and that takes over your life, it's not worth it, right? It's not worth it. I mean, the money's not worth it, but the passion, if you do something you love like you do, you love what you do, it's a passion. I can see it in you, and I know you're great. Now tell us about that Parade of Homes. You were just in a magazine and something, I just popped up on social media that your Parade of Homes, like you were one of the designers.
And one thing about that, I did it with my very good friend, Sally Elliott. She works with Nate Homes, which is an amazing builder. And we have done many things together. And she just called me, said, we need to do this. And with that, took us like a minute to do everything. She already built the house. I helped her with all the furniture. But the most important thing, the day of the opening of Parade of the Homes, her house was amazing. And what we did was amazing. The house was sold right away with all the furniture inside.
Wow.
They didn't want to sell the house because it was a model house, but they make an offer that they couldn't say no.
Well, any offer, if it's good enough, you got to bite on it, right? So that's a compliment to you, right? Because
Yes,
it was your design, your furniture, and they said, not only do I love the house, and that's just another point. Like, it's so important to stage a house.
Can
It's
you
so
imagine
important.
buying the house with all the furniture?
Because it's no work, right? It's done.
Yep,
You
it's
did
done.
all the work.
Yeah, and I was thinking, yeah, and that was good for me because I was thinking it's good not only for me, it's for the builder and my friend, the realtor designer. Everybody was winning, you know, and I was thinking that made me feel really good.
Because it's like, once again, the ripple effect of life. It all helped everyone out.
Again, that's what I believe. The circle, you know, I mean, it's just not about me, fame or everything. It's about everybody. Whatever I do affects everybody.
Yes. What is next on your calendar? Where are you going? What's the next international city? What's your big travel? What's next for you?
You know, honestly, I think I need to take a break in February, thinking to go to a vacation by the ocean. Don't know yet where. And that would be something probably close because I'm so tired of the jet lag. You know, this time was 8 hours. And I'm thinking something close, but outside of the States. Yeah. That would be, and then the next trip, probably a big trip, will be made for 10 days. I don't know yet where. Maybe I was thinking just going through Italy and go all over Italy.
Love Italy.
But don't know yet. I'll get an inspiration and I'll let you know.
Definitely let me know. I love that.
Yes.
Do you decide as a group with this international?
No. This one, when I travel, I do it by myself. But what I do is I connect with my friends in Europe because I have so many of friends in another parts of the world. And I say, I'm doing this. Who wants to come with me? And then even people from America, my American friends say, yeah, we want to go with you.
On your last trip, how many that I saw on your social media, how many were from Omaha?
None.
9. Wow.
The last trip that I went to Turkey, I decided just to have a European crowd with me. Because one thing that I realized, you know, traveling around the world that Europeans travel different than Americans. And I was going to Turkey, and I was thinking, no, I'd rather to go with Europeans than with Americans. It was a little bit complicated because the culture and things that were coming, I think no. And then Europeans, again, travel different than Americans. But if I go to Europe, I wouldn't have any problem to travel with Americans because they like, you know, and Europeans also travel in Europe. But every time that I travel, I have 2 groups, Latin group, American group, a European group, and then I just connect with them. I haven't mixed all of them together yet. We'll see if they want to do it.
Well, what a delight. Thank you so much for being on the Power Up Show.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank you.
I look forward to watching your travels.
One of these days, we should travel together.
Let's travel together. And that is a wrap. Power Up Talk Show until we meet again. Remember, go make a difference, be the change.